Hi everybody, Elin here. Today I am going to give you some book recommendations, and this time it's about quick reads. And these books isn't necessarily like really short. Some of them are actually quite thick, but it's like the format in the books, the way they're written, and like with pictures and stuff that makes them really quick reads anyways. So I think we should get started because I do have a couple of books on this list. The first book on my list is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, and I absolutely love this book, so recommendations. Anyways, this is about Simon Spear. He is 16 years old and he is gay. Although he's not out to the public. Nobody knows that he's gay except a guy named Blue. And Blue is also gay, but he's not out either. They're still both in the closet, so to speak. And these two boys are emailing each other. But one day Simon forgets to log out of his account when he's in school, and these emails are being spread around the school, so soon everybody knows that Simon is gay. But nobody still knows who Blue is because Blue is just a pseudonym, so it's not his real name, and everybody's trying to like figure out who it is. And Simon, of course, wants to know who the boy is that he has been emailing for quite a long time. And I mean, this book is really quick because, well, it's not that big, but also because it's a lot of space between the lines, and there's a lot of emails in here as well, and also just because you get so hooked on this book that you just can't put it down. And this was definitely a 5-star read for me. So if you like diverse characters, if you like LGBTQ aspects, if you want a character that loves Harry Potter, because there's a lot of like Harry Potter reference in this book, and since I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, I just loved reading all of those. And I mean, it's a really good and quick read. And then we have the next book, which is Wonder by R.J. Palazzo, and this is actually a middle grade book. Not of all these books are in the same series. There's quite a difference between all of them actually, but this is a middle grade, and it's about a guy named August, and he is he doesn't look like everybody else. He's got sort of a deformed face, and he's been through a lot of surgeries and stuff, and he has been homeschooled because he has been not treated very well by kids when he's tried to start school, so his mom has been homeschooling him. But one day it's time for him to start school, and of course it doesn't go that well in the beginning, but I mean, it's a really good story. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. It made me bawl my eyes out. And I mean, it's really good, and it has a lot of good messages, and I just think it's a really good book to read. And also it's really quick, and it's a lot of like text and stuff also, so you get to read that as well. And yeah, I just really love this book, and I want to reread it soon. The next book is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. And I mean, this is not that thin, it's like 500 pages or something like that, but yeah, it was quick anyways, because this is a contemporary, which like in itself reads pretty quickly, and there's a lot of lists and like texts and stuff like that, and playlists as well. And this was the first Morgan Matson book I ever read, and I absolutely adored it. It's so good. There's so much, like the main character Emily, her like character development is huge, and we don't see that enough in books, especially not contemporary books, and I thought I really liked that aspect. And I mean, this is about Emily and her best friend Sloane that is one day just missing, and the only thing she left behind is a to-do list for Emily. And there's 13 tasks on this that Emily is supposed to do during the summer, and there's things like dance until dawn, kiss a stranger, go skinny dipping and stuff like that. And Emily is trying to find Sloane, and she thinks that doing all of these challenges will make her help find Sloane. And since there's a lot of playlists and texts and everything in this, it does go pretty darn quickly, and also you get like hooked from page 1, which also makes it go by really quick. And I just really love this book. I mean, there's a lot of 5-star books on this list, I'd say, so I mean, they're all good books, so give them a chance. And then we actually have a self-biography, and this is Talking as Fast as I Can, from Gilmore Girls to Gilmore Girls and everything in between. And this is by Lauren Graham, and yes, that's the woman that is in Gilmore Girls, if you didn't understand that by the title. And I don't know if you keep track of it as much as I have, but there was a Gilmore Girls reunion episodes kind of thing through the seasons. Like, there were a episode for spring, summer, autumn and winter, and these were came out like last year in November, and I picked this up not that long ago actually, but anyways, and in this you get to read about Lauren's life as a child, how she came into acting and how her acting, like, how it how it went and stuff like that. It's kind of humorous at times, I must admit, and it also get to read about her private life a little bit, and how she wrote a book called Someday Maybe, I think it's called. It's contemporary, and the process of writing that book. But you also, of course, which everyone who have read this book wanted to read about, is the fact that there's like excerpts from Gilmore Girls, and she actually watched all 7 seasons, and then she comments on a couple of episodes from each season, and you get to read about that, and you also get to find out what happened during the reunion, like a bit back behind the scene really, and it's really hilarious, and you can definitely see a lot of Lorelai Gilmore in Lauren Graham as well, and I thought that was really fun to see, because often that's not the case with actors. They're not really like the parts, but she definitely was a little bit at least. And the reason this is went really fast read, I mean, it's not very thick, and it's a self-biography, so it's not like really heavy reading, but it's also, oh god, dust jackets are annoying me, but it's a lot of like, there's a lot of pictures. I mean, here's Lorelai's, and is Lauren as a small kid with her dad, and a lot like conversation through the phone where she calls her dad and stuff like that. So it really is a quick read. I almost read this in a day. I had like 15 pages left, and then I just absolutely had to go to bed because, well, school. So almost in a day, and I think it was absolutely amazing. The next book I have to recommend is Between Shades of Grey by Rhoda Sapiens, and or Sapiens, I really don't know. This takes place in 1941, which was during the Second World War, and this is about Lena. She's 15 years old, and her mother and younger brother and herself are hauled from their home by Soviet guards, and they're sent off to Siberia. And this is a story that not a lot of people know that much about, and this book is actually written from this is what it says on the back. Set in 1941, Between Shades of Grey is an extraordinary and haunting story based on first-hand family accounts and memories from survivors. I mean, it's a really important read because, I mean, it's a part of history that not a lot of people know that much about, and it's really quick because there's a lot of spacing and half pages in this book and stuff like that, and it's totally and completely captivating. I read this in one day. Well, I'm not really a crier when I read books. It doesn't really happen that often, definitely not like when I read Wonder, but this book definitely made me shed a couple of tears, and sometimes it was a little bit hard to get through just because it was so terrible, but I mean, it's just as important to get this story out in the world as the other things that happened during this horrible time period. And it was just a really good read, and I definitely recommend it for anyone who's interested in history. It's really well written, and Rhoda Sapiens doesn't sugarcoat anything, so you really get to details of everything. And then we have a fantasy book, and it's Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, and this is actually her debut book, so check it out. And you know, I'm crazy about pirates. I love Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I was crazy for the first one. I watched it like 17 times, so I know what I'm talking about. No, I'm just kidding. But this book is, well, it's short, but it also has like a character, I don't remember her name, Aloza, and she is the Pirate King's daughter, obviously, because, you know, read the cover, and she is willingly letting herself be captured by her enemies, and this is because her father wants to get a hold of a piece of map, and I think it was 3 of those pieces, or maybe it was 4 pieces in total, but her father has one and she wants to get another one because her father wants it, and she gets captured on purpose and tries to find this map and everything, and she gets to learn one of the pirates that work on the ship, live on the ship, whatever you want to call it, and his name is Ridden, and Alosa and Ridden has like the most comedic relationship. I mean, they're constantly like bickering and doesn't get along at all at first, and it's freaking hilarious. And I mean, Alosa is just one of those girls that really can take care of herself. She's kick-ass with her sword, she has a great mind, I mean, she's really smart, and now we've actually come to a series. And this is Illuminate and Gemini, and if you followed me on my blog or my Swedish videos, if you understand Swedish, you know how much I've talked about these books because I'm freaking crazy about them, and I know they look huge because they're like 600 pages each, but they are also, ouch, in a really nice format. It's like a lot of documents, their chats, their emails, and as you can see, it's not really a lot of words on each page, and there's like, I mean, it's things like this, and it's just a lot of people's faces, it's a lot of pictures, and this book is the same way as well, but these books follow different characters, so it's not exactly the same, but there are some cameos in this book, so you don't have to worry if you really like the characters in this one. And in this book you meet Katie and Ezra, and they just broke up, which makes it a little bit awkward when they have to try to save their own lives because their planet is getting attacked. And they try to they try to get to a spaceship along with a lot of other people trying to like save their lives, and yeah, well, things doesn't go very well. Let's just leave it at that. And this book is funny. Katie is a really great hacker, and it's just, I haven't read a lot of sci-fi, so I don't really have a lot to compare to, but I thought it was really captivating, and like, I haven't read anything like this before, and I mean, I really liked it, and I think you would too. And even though it's 600 pages, like I said, it's a really quick read. You just fly through it because there's not a lot to read on each page. And this book is following Hannah, and I don't remember the dude's name because I'm suck at names. It really is a problem. His name is Nick. Hannah is the station captain's daughter, and I mean, she knows how to handle a gun, even though she hasn't really needed to do so in this kind of environment, in this kind of situation. And she's really kick-ass as well. And then Nick's, I think it's his cousin or something, I really don't remember her name because I suck at names, like I said, and she's really good hacker too, and Nick is just hilarious, so it's a really good combo. And then I have If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, and this is a book about Amanda who used to be Andrew, and she got surgeries and things like that to become a girl, and she was not treated very well by her peers in her school, so she moves to her dad's instead, and then nobody knows that she used to be a he, so she's feeling really well about it. She's making friends and everything, but then one day she started to become a really close friend to a guy, whose name I can't remember because blimey. Anyways, and she is thinking about telling him about who she used to be, but she's not certain that he will be able to keep her secret because she doesn't want it to come out, because she doesn't want to be treated any different. This is a really great book. It's really good written, and I just love the fact that the author, Meredith Rousseau, she is also transgender. The girl on the cover is transgender, and I really like that it all like combines. It's really good, and it's really thin. It's not a lot of pages in it, and I was captivated from the first page. I didn't want to put it down. And that was all the recommendations I had for this time. If you liked this video, I do hope that you want to subscribe to my channel so that you can get a notification for when I upload new videos, but also to show me some moral support. And I do hope that we see each other next time. Bye!